what is critical first is really an acknowledgement of the people that we serve, that they must be at the center of the response, that they must be the ones that bring the information, what are their needs, how can they be addressed, and provide their own solutions. And they must really be at the forefront of the response. For us as actors, I think it's also critical that we build trust with these communities. Communities must see us as people that care about their needs in a concrete way, not only in talk or in paper, but they must see that there is really clear intention from our part to support them to realize a dignified life and access services that is our intention to bring to them. A key element as well is our honesty and accountability to those communities. Obviously, because of the wide range of services that we provide, we must be ready to listen. We must be able to get feedback, even tough feedback from those communities. We have to act on that feedback and give the communities feedback on what our action has been. And from time to time, it also means giving feedback that we are not able to provide those services for various reasons, and actually being clear on what the reasons are. We have to change the mindset of giving to a partnership, to a collaboration, to ensure that communities really see this as an equal way of working together. The most essential collaborators remain actually the communities that are affected, and that means refugees and host communities. And within this, we have women, we have girls, we have youth, we have children, we have unaccompanied minors, and persons also with disability. So I think these people must be looked at with with an individuality, with specific response to their needs, which obviously would vary. So I think really the most important collaborators are the affected communities. So the second collaborators are the authorities, and you'll find in the context of the Kenya refugee operation, the authorities are the ones that make the policies that inform our response, how we can actually work with the communities. Our effort needs to continue with the authorities to ensure that they accord dignity to the affected communities through the different policies that they may make, and actually in the way they collaborate, in the way they work with us, and ensure that those communities are given the dignity and the space to work in a better way and to stay in a more dignified way. So the other collaborator is actually the donors, because they're the ones who give us the funding to ensure that we are able to provide information to communities, to ensure that we are able to engage with communities, to ensure that also we are accountable to communities. As it is now, most of the donors actually have the requirement for accountability, where all the actors have frameworks in place to ensure accountability to the affected population, which I think is a very important check, because it ensures that we are meeting certain standards, we are meeting certain requirements, and that part of our culture at work is really that of accountability. So there are many different barriers. One of the key barriers within the context of a refugee operation is actually language. So you find in Kenya there are communities from up to 10, 15 countries, and that means they speak different languages. They haven't also had the privilege of education, so they don't really speak the common languages that we may be conversant with. So what we do as a FilmAid Kenya is to ensure that the content that we produce is actually in the languages that the communities speak, and the people that are at the fore of dissemination speak those languages as well, and ensure that people receive information, understand information in languages that that they know. And in line with really the population that we serve is diversity. And that means to respond to the needs of these people is essentially complicated, because it's not one population, it's a diverse population. So another barrier is the mismatch between the services that are being provided and the information that we may provide. In essence, if the services that are being provided to the communities are not enough, then if we give information and communities don't access those services, it actually is then a disservice to those communities. And it's one of the elements that causes mistrust between ourselves and the communities. And to give an example, there have been massive campaigns on vaccination against COVID-19. But basically, if you provide information on that and the services are not there, the vaccines are not available, then obviously that campaign has no value. That information dissemination has no value. That engagement with the communities has no value. So what it is that we really have to ask the donors to look at the importance in equal measure between access to information, communication and community engagement, and the provision of the services. They have to go hand in hand. And I think in this network of CDAC, when we talk about communication is aid, we all have to collectively come together, including the donors, to ensure that we are able to look at both sides and to elevate the position of communication and ensure that communities have access to both in equal measure, and to live that information is aid.